Hello guys, welcome to CyberCrush YouTube channel. So guys, today we are in the day 4 of bashscripting series. So guys, in today's video, we will go deep into the loops and arrays in the bashscripting. So guys, without wasting the time, let's dive into the computer screen and start today's video. Guys, first of all, let's start with the loops in bashscripting. So guys, here we have the theoretical information or the notes. We'll cover this part and then we will move to the practical part. So here first of all loop. The loop is a control structure that allows a script to execute a block of code repeatedly until a specified condition is met. So basically we will write a block of code in which we will put some of the conditions. So until that condition is satisfied, the code will run. So here we have loops are used when tasks must be repeated, data is processed in a bulk and automation is required and iteration over files, IPs, ports or users is needed. In this case we will use a loop. So we have the types of loop, like in bash we have three types of loops. One is the for loop, another one is the while loop, and the last one is the until loop. So here we have the information like execute a block of code for each item in a list or range. So this is the for loop. And for the while loop, execute a command while the condition remains true. And the until loop is the opposite of while loop. So guys, don't worry about this. We will cover this for loop and while loop in the practical, so you can clear about this. So in loop, we have some of the conditions, like we have the break statement, we have the continue statement. So we will use this break and continue while in a block of code. If we want to break any statement, so there we will use the break keyword. Or in some case, we want to continue, either skipping any iteration and we want to continue the things. So at that time, we will use the continue keyword. So guys, this is a simple information about the loops. So now we will move towards the practical and we will run the script and we will check about the for loop and while loop. So guys, here we have the sample1.sh. So here we have the base script. So we have started with the shebang. And guys, in this script, we will cover the for loop and the while loop. So here we have a sample for loop, like this is the comment line. And here we have the script like for user in Alice, Bob and Charlie. Here we have three data and here we have the variable. So from here we will start the for loop, like we will echo the user value. And guys, here we have the while loop, like here count equals to 1, and here we have the condition like while count is less than 3, we will echo the count value and it will iterate with plus 1 values. So here we have the sample for loop and here we have the while loop. So let's run this sample code here. Like we know we will use this command and this is sample1.sh. So I will simply give an enter here. And guys, here you can see like for the for loop, here we have the user value is Alice, Bob and Charlie, and it will iterate with you Alice and Bob and then Charlie. So here you can see like echo like user Alice, user Bob and user Charlie. So guys, for the while loop, here you can see we have count equals to 1, and while the count is less than 3, this loop will work. So here you can see first 1, then 2 and then this equals to 3. So it's running properly. So like if I will change this value, like here you can see we can simply change this value to, I will change this 3 to 5 and I will save this one. So now we can do, so here we have the value equals to 5. So now let's run this. So guys, here you can see the count simply runs until 5. And for the for loop we can also add one more value here, like after Charlie, if I want, here I will use another one and let's save this. So you can see here we have another one value. So now let's run this script, and here you can see this is working properly. So guys, in this manner you can run different types of loops like for loops and while loops. So now we can move towards the arrays in bash scripting. So guys, now we can start with the array. So in bash scripting, array is a variable that can store multiple values under a single name, accessed using the index. Like we can access those values with the index number. Like basically with one variable we can store one name, but if we use the array, so with one variable we can store multiple numbers of data. And as we know, in the bash scripting we doesn't have any data types, so we can store multiple values like with different data types. Like we can store the names, we can store the numbers, we can store the symbols, and everything we can store using a single value. So guys, in array we have different characteristics. Like we can start the indexing with the 0. We can store mixed values like I've said. We can store the numbers, we can store the names, the string values, and the symbols. Like we can store the mixed values in a single array. And no fixed size. That in bash scripting, array doesn't have any fixed size and ideal for batch operation. So guys, this is the information about the array. Now we can start with the script. So guys, here we have the script, that is the sample2.sh, and here we have started with the shebang, you can see. So here we have declared an array. Like we have given the variable name as ports, and here we have the values like 22, 80 and 443. So first of all, using the index, we will access the array. Like here we have done the echo port 0, then accessing all the elements. We have used using the @ symbol, and if you want the array length, the length of the array, so we can use a hashtag before the variable name. So using this command, like here we have accessed only one array using the index, here we have accessed all the elements, and here we will access the length of the array. And after this we have used a loop. Like using one loop we will run all these array values. So we can simply run this array file. Like to run this array we will use a different command, like we will use a bash and here the sample2.sh. So let's run this. So here you can see like the index 0, that is the 22. Here we have the 22. Then here accessing all the elements. So here you can see 22, 80 and 443. So here we have those three values and the length of the array. So here we have three value. So the length of the array is 3. So here you can see we have the 3. And coming to the loop, like we have used a loop with the array, and here we have called the port. So here you can see we have the 22, we have the 80 and we have the 443. So using these commands we can simply access to array in the bash scripting. So guys, that's all for today's video, and if you want more videos, so you can subscribe to cybercrest YouTube channel. And guys, I have prepared a full series on bash scripting. I will keep the playlist link in the I button so you can access to that. And guys, for more solution regarding cybersecurity, ethical hacking and the CTFs, so you can subscribe to cybercrest YouTube channel. Thank you.